Hello and welcome to
Gift of the Gab.
Gift of the Gab, episode 4.
Four.
So, episode 4, gonna start off.
Is it episode 4?
Episode 4, can you believe it? God, we've been away a month, let's discuss that. Family, we'll discuss that later on. But, let's discuss what happened in episode 3, Goose. What happened at the end? What happened? Do you want to tell us? Do you want to go through what was going through your mind at the end of episode 3?
I said goodbye.
Yeah, oh yeah, was that what you did? Was it just a goodbye or did you flash your tatas? Because if you didn't realise, you flashed her tatas.
I'm getting to that age where
Yeah,
I'm approaching the winter of my years.
Oh yeah, is that what we're calling it
So this
now?
is my last big hoorah.
And you thought you'll flash your tatas to 35 viewers. Got to flash them to someone, I suppose. So,
Yes.
we've been away.
They've barred me from the OAP centre.
OAPs. They love a good flash.
I know.
So,
yes.
we've been away a month, Goose.
We have been away a month.
What are we playing at?
And before we left, I promised you lots of things.
She did. She did. Not me. The person that actually runs Base at Bamboo. This woman. She co-owns it. Are we technically co-owners of Base at Bamboo?
No, it's all
No, it's
you.
all me.
Yes.
The court case comes, it's all me.
You know it. Anyway, so again, I promised lots of things. The daughter moved home. Yep, great, was wonderful.
Yeah, and then someone fell ill in our family.
Very, very ill. Nearly died twice.
Twice.
And so things got very hectic for a while for us.
Yes, for a month to be precise.
And to be honest, we're
This
trying
is
to
really
adapt
the
our new
only.
to our lives.
This is the only downside calm down we've had in the last month.
It is.
And then the Goose looked at me and said, "When's the last time we did a podcast?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And then this is where we're at now, doing a podcast.
Yeah, but we will try and get back on track. I
Yes,
think
we
I
are
say
trying
this
to.
every time.
You
I
do,
think this
you
is going to
do.
be my catchphrase.
It's fine as well, because for nearly every episode, I promise them something new's coming. I promised them some gaming's coming. I promised them videos are coming, and I just can't. It's just. We'll talk about this later. Fucking no, we're going to talk about this now. Actually, I've decided we're going to talk about it now. You watch other people on you. I don't know how much YouTube you watch. I watch a lot. I watch YouTube how people watch TV. Like, I watch a lot of YouTube because I prefer YouTube to TV. TV is really boring. What?
Do you watch a lot of YouTube?
I do. I watch too much.
I
and
should check on him more.
I'm realising now how pantomime facade. Is that facade a word? How big a facade YouTube is.
We've got a dictionary around here. I'm
Oh,
look
mate,
that
I
up.
don't. I've got a Bible, a Quran, and a Torah, but no dictionary, love.
Fuck it, go on.
I've realised how much a facade YouTube is.
Because
Because I remember, yeah, you say of course, but when I was younger, when YouTube really hit off, and it like loads of people were doing loads of stuff on it. I'm trying to remember my train of thoughts. This is going to go into what we were going to talk about originally, but I've decided to cut that. We're going to talk about this first. Just people. I remember when I was younger watching stuff, and I'm watching it. I remember going, "Wow, these two people have created this video, and it's amazing. Wow, I can't believe it. I could totally do that." And now I'm doing it. I'm like, "There's no way there were just two people on that video."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like this big facade of just fucking. Like I wanted to do. I'm still going to do eventually comedy skits and stuff like that, and I'm just like, there is no way. Two people, again, me and you, because unfortunately you're going to be in a lot of my comedy skits. We can't just do it as a two-person group,
No.
which is what we are. Which is ironically what a lot of YouTube when I was younger was pretending to be like. Oh, we're just two guys or two girls. Look how cool we are. And I'm like, no. Now that I'm doing it, I'm like, YouTube's a massive facade. And not just with the comedy people. I'm talking the people that do the music, the people that do the gaming, and the people that do vlogging. It's all just like this really weird pantomime facade world.
I agree. I mean,
I get that's the entertainment business that we've all got to put on a fake us. But when you're watching it, and they're just like going, oh, like people who do vlogs, and they're like, oh, it's just me and I'm in my room, and then it turns out that they've got fucking people that do their makeup, people that do fucking scripts, people that do the editing for them because they don't know how to fucking do the editing. Meanwhile, I'm fucking lumbered over there doing a podcast and editing. I don't mind doing the editing. I don't really do much editing, to be honest. If you've ever watched any of our videos, I do fuck all editing. The only major bit of editing I've ever had to do was in the last episode where I put something up to cover your fucking tatas because you decided to fucking whip them out right at the end.
You're not going to let me live that down, are you?
No. I also want that on a t-shirt. I want to have the tar here and then tars there. So it'll be like tartars. But no, I just realised how much of a facade. And oh god, I'm just going to go on a rant even more. People with money as well. Like, they give it off as if like, oh, I've really got nothing. And it just turns out they have fucking tons of money. Like half the people which are famous now on YouTube, and they're all like, oh, it's been a real struggle trying to get it. I'm like, you fucking came from middle-class families. You had money, you had backing. You could afford to fucking just take a year off in your life and vlog.
Oh,
I'm fucking so bitter. And YouTube hates bitterness. And I just couldn't give a fuck. It's pissed me off how people are now going like... I think I discussed this last time. But there's some people who I watch, and they're putting out videos, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so burnt out, I do nothing. And I'm like, you fucking just did a tour. You went around the world, you lucky cunt. Stop saying, I'm burnt out, I've run out of ideas. Like, fucking...
But he's not bitter about it. He's not twisted. He's fine. It's fine.
And then they fucking... Oh my god. Right, this is the thing.
Oh,
and I think this is going to piss you off, right? If you watch someone... Let's say you're watching David Attenborough and he's doing a documentary and he's like, look at these fucking fish. And you're like, they're amazing fish, David, I understand. And then the next episode you watch him and he's in camera and he fucking looks at the camera for the whole 10 minutes. There's nothing else going on. And you know him as, look at these fucking fish guy. And he's talking, he's like, oh, I'm really sad. And I'm burnt out. And they fucking start crying. David Attenborough starts crying at you on the fucking TV. After last episode, he's gone, look at these fucking fish. You'll be like, this has fucking got nothing to do with the other thing. It pisses me off. It seriously pisses me off. Because there are people on YouTube and they're fucking going out now and it's become a trend. And it seriously has, because I've seen fucking 5 YouTube channels do it where they sit in front of a camera and just fucking cry. And then they get the comments going on, oh, it's fine if you want to take some time off. Just fucking take the time off. Nobody gives a fuck. Take the time off and come back and do better material. Our dogs are fucking fighting. That's how angry they are.
They're feeling your negativity.
You need to fucking watch YouTube and you'll know what I mean. I know you watch YouTube. You're forced to watch YouTube because you've got nephews and they've got iPads for days and they watch it. Grandchildren. My nephews. But it's just annoying when I'm like, cool, I'll subscribe to you or I'll watch your videos because you provide this content. And then 10 months down the line, because everyone else is fucking doing it, you're going to do it. You're going to sit in front of a camera and be nearly in tears or crying or just talking about a sad time in your life. I'm like, this is not what I wanted from you. Entertainers don't do that. In your years, when was the last time you saw Ken Dodd, the comedian, come out and go, I'm really depressed, I don't know if I could do this show tonight, and then cry about how his fucking hamster died? It doesn't happen, because that's not...
But you're sitting in front of a camera having a good old rant.
We've always done this.
In a minute you'll cry.
We've always done this. No, I've never cried. I'll never cry on camera. We've always done this. I know. If I cried and told you about how fucking depressing my life is. But this is the thing. Vloggers, I'll give you a time off, because vloggers, you vlog about your life. Look at my life, isn't it amazing? Or look at my life, isn't it shit? I don't know what you vlog about. But it's the other people... Like this. Yeah, we're a podcast channel. Ironically, we're always going to be a podcast channel because that's the first thing we ever did.
Alright.
Anything we divulge in will just be like a branch, but we'll always be at heart a podcast channel. That's the first thing we did.
Good. I like it.
I mean, we could try and reimagine ourselves in a couple of years' time, but I can't imagine. Like, I want to do some gaming on this channel, but it's not going to be the main thing I'm going to be into. I want to be really into this fucking podcast.
But you always say this, you never do it, so come on.
Yes, but I'm talking about the facade of YouTube and how these people are going, people who have done gaming, or people who do just do comedy, or people that do just do music. And then they've gone, oh, I'm really sorry, guys, I just can't do it right now, I'm so burnt out. And they cry. And then the people in the comments go, oh, it's fine, take the time off. And that's clearly what they wanted in the first place. But then they never fucking do, because the facade continues, and they've got backup videos to put out. Like, why put out that first one if you were going to take time off anyway? Don't inform us of you taking time off when it won't look like you've taken time off. Do you know what I mean? I feel like only a third of the audience is going to understand. And that third is going to be Deaf Diamond Blonde.
If you understand it, could you let me know?
Think of it in entertainment.
I understand.
If David Attenborough,
for
a whole series, was like, look at these polar bears, look at these penguins, look at these monkeys, look at these fish, look at this, and then the next episode you're like, oh, it's the season finale, that's what he does, and he's fucking crying on camera for the whole hour. And you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this, David? You provided me with information about animals that I'll probably never fucking see and never interact with ever in my life. And now you're crying at me, telling me how shit your life is. Meanwhile, you're fucking sitting in a house that your business built.
You are so going to hell.
So angry.
You're so going to hell picking on poor David Attenborough.
I fucking love David Attenborough.
He's a national treasure.
I love David Attenborough.
You've just slagged him off.
I've not slagged him off. I've used him as... Okay, fine. Think of any other celebrity then.
I can't.
Yeah, exactly. David Attenborough's like the only one that springs to everyone's mind. Say Ronald McDonald and the McDonald franchise, right? They were going, look at these burgers, here's some fries with that, here's some milkshake, here's a salad, and then you went in there one day and they go, here's just employees. Look how fucking sad they are. Here's the cows. Watch us kill the cow right in front of you. You go, what the fuck are you doing, McDonald's? Would you?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm so full of anger this podcast.
I can see this.
It just really pisses me off. It's the one thing about YouTube that pisses me off. The toxic communities couldn't give a fuck about. The channels that upload a video and then 6 months later they do their second video as if the gaps never happened. Fine, I could deal with that. But it's just the fuck... You subscribe or you watch someone or a company or whatever... And you're like, I like what you guys are doing, and you're fucking grooving with that. And then they just suddenly, like, oh, music. Suddenly here's a vlog. Fine, they're breaking out. Oh, it's a vlog about how depressed they are because their channel's not succeeding. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. This is your life. Don't try and push your shame onto me that your channel's not working. Or they're crying because they're burnt out. I just don't have any song ideas. Like, yeah, guess what? Elton John probably had a time when he couldn't think of songs. But he didn't come out and tell everyone that he couldn't think of songs.
So why, when it gets to that point, do you just not unsubscribe to them?
Because yeah, but it's become a trend. A lot of YouTube channels are doing it now. That's what's pissing me off about it. A couple, yeah, I'll understand. It's probably a fucking dog-eat-dog world entertainment business. But when, like, fucking 10 channels then do episodes where, like, oh, I watched that episode and I'm really sad as well because it's totally true what they said. I'm like, oh, just fuck off. You're doing a trend. Because they got views and shit and nice comments. And now the other person's like, oh, I want the fucking nice comments as well.
Okay. Alright.
You won't know because you don't watch YouTube like I watch YouTube. But it is...
Stop watching YouTube.
I can't. TV's boring. Books are boring. YouTube's boring. But I could fucking go, oh, I don't want to watch this now. Oh, I could get this upset. I've never been this upset. Oh, no, I've been upset about tons of things like this before.
I think you need to take a chill pill because you're not going to change the world.
I know. I never ever will.
These YouTubers. And yeah, they are a trend.
All YouTube is non-stop trends of shit.
But then that's what life's all about.
What trends of shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the fashion world, yeah. Dungarees were in. I fucking wish they would come back. They never will.
But to a certain degree, all our life is based around fashion and design. The houses we live in, the wallpapers and paints we choose, the way we decorate our rooms. When we go out, the buildings were built by our architectors. They, so everything has a design. Sometimes it's nice when you stumble across an old house of 1920s or whatever. And when you walk into offices now and department stores, they're all set out to be eye-pleasing.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, I mean...
But that's different. Because it's not something I'm constant in. I don't know. Maybe I'm on my own on this. People comment below. I understand where you're coming from, though.
Good.
That, of course, everyone follows the trends. Supermarkets follow trends.
Yeah.
That's why whenever you go to supermarkets, it's always the fresh fruit and shit.
Yeah.
Every supermarket you go in, it's always going to be fresh fruit first.
And they put the milk at the back of the shop because everyone... what's the most things people buy? The 3 essentials. Milk, bread and butter.
Yeah, milk, bread, butter.
And they always put them right at the back, so you have to walk all through the store. So that's when your eye sees something that, I should try that. Oh, I'll buy that. Oh, I'll get that. That's how they do it.
I know.
It's never marketing.
I know, but you just thought... You just don't get that in like the normal entertainment world. I think that's what pisses me off.
I think so too.
Between YouTube... And YouTube isn't obviously an entertainment business. They got ads now.
I think at the end of the day, when you live a little bit longer, you realise that it goes around and it comes around.
Yeah, I know.
A couple of years ago, the 70s look was in. Well, I lived through the 70s, and it wasn't that brilliant. I remember...
What was the 70s look?
Nylon.
High collars?
Yes.
Was that 70s?
Very high.
High hair?
Not so much high hair, but...
When was the high hair in?
80s.
Oh.
But I remember everything was nylon. So we had nylon sheets, and then they put us in nylon nightshirts, and when we went to bed, it was like a fucking electric show because of all the static. And they thought that purple and orange were the best colours ever to put together. And, the materials were horrible. So, but when the 70s came back, yes, it had the fashion, but the materials were different. So it was different, but it was the same. But it put me off.
So it put you off?
Yeah, because I lived through the 70s and I didn't think the fashion was that brilliant. Plus, which I was a hippie man.
You were a hippie?
I was a hippie.
I would never imagine you as a hippie.
I man. I love peace and harmony. I love you.
Oh, wow.
Jesus wants you for something.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I was a hippie.
Wow. Long hair. Didn't shower.
That's
Ponchos.
Me. Yeah.
Tie-dye. We
Long
should do
skirts.
tie-dye. I wouldn't mind wearing tie-dye.
Yeah, we do tie-dye.
Yeah. Should we do it for the channel? Probably not. I say this now. We never will. We'll just make it out of the show.
I think we could, actually.
What, do it for the show?
Yeah, but do the colours.
Yeah, of course. 100%. I'm up for that. Do it.
Yeah.
Pop it in the bath.
You can pop it in a bowl.
In a bowl. Or a bath. Anyone will do.
Bowl.
Or a bowl.
A bowl.
She wants to do bowls.
Because your bath is too much. And then it
It's
leaves
too
the
much,
colour
man.
rendering. And
It's
who'll
just
be
too much. And who's going to clean that? The woman or the man? You gotta think of this. It's just so weird that when people think hippies, they always do the same voice.
Yeah.
Like, nobody ever does a hippie's voice
Oh, hello,
differently.
Jeremy.
Yeah. Everyone always does a hippie voice. Oh, you know what, man? Like, oh.
I know, right? Even that turtle in Finding Nemo
Was a hippie, yeah. The same hit, like, oh my god, man. This is so...
Little dude's go to
Neil
school.
from the
Young
Young Ones. Oh, well, man. Yeah, 100%. 100%. We're fucking humans and we're fucking just following someone who we think's got a fucking hope and chance.
Even Dylan from the Magic Roundabout.
Yeah, Dylan from the Magic Roundabout.
Yes.
That was Dylan. He was the rabbit.
Yes.
He was the rabbit. Yeah, I know Dylan from the Magic Roundabout.
He was a hippie,
Yeah. Called Dylan because I think they called him after Bob Dylan,
Yeah.
didn't they? Yeah.
He
Oh, I know that Magic Roundabout.
Oh, bless you.
So, yeah. After that angry rant, let's...
Did you have an angry rant?
I don't know. Something just came over me. I just saw black.
It was that red mist.
Was that red mist? It was something. The red mist would be the shittest fucking superhero ever.
No, but that's the saying. When the red mist came over,
Oh.
it means you get sort of the
Anger.
anger.
The blood's pumping into your eyes. That's probably what the red mist
Yeah.
actually is.
Like a crime passionnel.
Oh, crime de passionnel.
Mm.
Did you know that used to be a legal way of getting away with murder?
Yeah, I know.
So was temporary insanity.
No.
You could commit a murder. You could commit a murder. There's been a murder. You could commit a murder, and then
well, there goes our one person in Scotland listening to us.
and the police would bring you in, and you'd be like, "Why did you kill them?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't remember." Temporarily insanity.
What?
But the police don't ask you why you did the crime. Of course I fucking do.
You tried to do it in an accent.
No, I didn't. I just said the police get you in and they tell you, why did you kill the person? Did I not?
No.
I think, oh, okay. The police bring you in and they go, you committed a murder.
That's it.
And you'll go, I committed nae murder. Nae cuddles for you.
That's exactly how it went down.
Is if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, right.
Oh, come on, it's better than your fucking French accent you always do for everyone. Monsieur, I am the law! Claiming to be fucking Sylvester.
It is Sylvester. It is. Anyway.
So, no, you used to be able to commit a murder.
Yeah.
And they dragged you in and they said, why did you do the murder? And you could turn around and go, I don't know, I don't remember, temporary insanity. And they'll go, we can't do anything because they can't prove it or disprove it. And that's why it quickly got chucked away. But it used to be a way of getting out of crimes. I don't remember because I think
you don't remember? No, that would have been long before you was born, babe.
Lee Harvey Oswald tried to do that, didn't he? When he just did the shooting of the JFK.
Yeah.
Apparently, and they captured him, and they said
there was a man on the grassy.
There was a man on the grassy nails.
There was a...
And totally, man. And 9/11's an inside job, man. But no, they did the whole. They brought him into questioning. And they said, did you shoot JFK? Were you there in that building? And he was all like, I don't know, I don't remember. And everyone went, you did it. And I think that was the last time anyone attempted to use the temporary insanity claim. And then it got quickly taken away because people were overusing it for stupid shit. Like, why didn't you pay your taxes? Oh, I don't remember. I was insane for half the year.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is those two towers came down like they were being brought down. Like a demolition.
Oh, what, the 9/11? Yeah, I know they pancaked. And they only pancake when it's a controlled demolition. So, conspiracy theories, us two. You're sliding out of camera like you don't want to be involved in this anymore.
I'm here.
I don't fucking want any of this nut job.
I was trying to lean, but I thought there was a dog behind me.
No, there's a pillow behind you. That's why I put the pillow there. So if you want to lean, you get a bit of comfort.
I'm leaning.
But a bit too much. It's all your double chins. So... No, talk about double chins. Look at those bad boys.
It's
you wouldn't believe I've lost weight though.
I know. It's
from
amazing.
the last time I was on, and now the double chin show.
That's because when
stress.
And when we had a family member in hospital,
a lot of people. Yeah, we were roughing it, eating shit meals.
Yeah, and we were like half living at the hospital, half living here.
I know.
Very, very dramatic. And
but look at the time. I need a piss. Shall we go for intermission? Yeah, what was that? You having a stroke? You right there? Could you smell toast? How's the left side of your face?
I thought we were still being Scottish.
Oh, was that your Scottish? Right, well, you sound French. So, anyway, thank you very much. We're going to have an intermission now. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So anyway, I'm there in the airport. They pull me into one of the back rooms, right? Fist right up my arse. I'm like, you're not going to find the drugs up there, love. We're back. Hello. Welcome back. Part 2 of episode 4. Episode 2.
That's 8. 4 and 2 is 8. No, it's
6. Dyslexic, dyspraxic. Thickheads. So, talking about illnesses that people don't understand.
Yes.
Let's talk about mental health.
Yay! I bet you're really glad you're listening to us tonight.
Well, you know, we got to come on to this eventually. Come on. I'm dirty. I'm a bit of blue for the dad. No. So...
that is mental health at its best.
So, of course, we're going to talk about eventually mental health because... I suffer from mental health disorder. I suffer from bipolar, depression, and anxiety. That's what the doctors have called it. You suffer from...
Depression.
I mean, thanks for saying it. Didn't even turn up.
Depression!
There we go. The first step is acknowledgement.
I acknowledge I've got depression.
So she's got depression, I've got bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety. So of course, eventually we were going to have to bring this up, mention it.
Well, if we must.
Well, of course we must, because at the moment in the UK there's this big campaign. I'm going to call it a campaign, it's probably not a campaign.
It just feels like a campaign. Opening up, talking to people.
Talking about it. There's been advertisement on the TV about it.
Telling your employers.
Tell your employers. Not just telling your employers, but like just generally not openness, but just about it.
Yeah.
Just trying to bring acknowledgement to it and saying like, oh, shall I feel weird because I feel this? Is it alright to do this? Blah, 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 blah. But that still doesn't stop jobs and companies and public facilities from still not acknowledging it, if you understand what I mean. Goose.
Yes, I do. Because
discuss. Bring to the table. Can we hold them? We can hold them.
I know a person who worked in mental health.
Yes.
But her employers and her work colleagues didn't know how much she was struggling. So...
And these were people that worked...
In mental health.
So they would know the signs and the background behind mental health. Because unfortunately, I used to work in mental health as a support worker, and you would have to know all the dilly-dallies behind it and shit like that.
I know. So it makes you wonder, what care are the mental health care people getting in England? We know ourselves, through our own experiences, that it's very hard to get to see psychiatrists or therapists or even help. And it's not mental health's fault, the team, because they don't get the funding from the government.
No, there's a lot of cuts going on at the moment. And bizarrely, for some unknown reason, whenever a government does cuts, the first thing they cut is the healthcare, whether that be mental or just general healthcare. Yeah.
And then it's the old and the young. So,
and then schools usually get cut as well.
Exactly.
Just to go a bit political on you there, our dogs are fighting.
They've still got that negativity. Hey, you stop it.
Oh, bring Billy and let's show off his new... We had to get him this because Billy is short-haired underneath and he suffers from the cold, so we bought him a new jumper. Lovely. La, la, la. As you can tell, he loves it. So much so that he's growling at his owner.
No, he's not. He's growling at her because she's behind me. Right.
So yes, back to mental health for a quick.
Bonbon.
This is Madame Bonbon LaRue. She likes to be held like a baby. I honestly don't put her in this position. She gets it herself. So
gorgeous girl. Right.
Mental health.
Mental health.
So yes, long time between psychiatrists in the UK. I don't know what it's like in your local area. You figure it out. Unfortunately, it is shit. It is shit in the sense of they're still randomly guessing. Like the medication you get for a lot of it, they're still guessing. Like a lot of people I know who do suffer from depression, they're on different medication because unfortunately there's no one pill that'll work for everyone. Each pill will work differently for everyone. Of course, so they're still just guessing randomly. Yeah, but they're just lobbing and pills at you at the moment.
But we're all individuals and our bodies will take things differently.
Yeah, of course. Same with a lot of the therapies. A lot of people get a lot from group therapies. I personally don't get a lot from group therapies. I think it's a stupid idea because once again, you're just a group of people all sat around talking about your problems. I'm not quite sure how that's supposed to help somebody. And whenever I've done group therapies, it's not worked. Obviously, I'm sure that's going to work for someone else. But blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so it's still a lot of guesswork going on. Like, if you went into a hospital with a broken arm, they'll go, we know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
So mental health is still like a lucky bag of ideas flowing around.
I think also mental health is still quite in its infancy. Because when I went to school, the gift was right. I do suffer from dyslexia. And when I went to school, I was the thick person. I sat in the corner. They didn't understand it. They understand it so much better now. I wish I'd been born now in that aspect, because they understand dyslexia. And they have done for the last 20 years. But they didn't do it when I was young.
No,
They are learning as they go. And of course it's going to be a mixture of different tablets for different people, because everyone's different.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't saying it as a bad thing. I'm just trying to illustrate my point that if you went to a hospital and you were like, look at my broken arm or look at my leg, it's a bit gammy, they'll go, okay, good, we know what the fuck we're doing. Whereas with mental health, you go, oh, I'm a bit depressed, like, here's some pills. If they don't work, come back 2 weeks later and we'll give you some more.
Oh, yeah, I agree with
In the meantime, go talk to a complete stranger and tell them everything.
I do agree with that. There is no personal care, really. But then, like I said, I don't blame the mental health teams. I blame the government.
No, I don't blame the mental health teams. And I don't really blame the government. I get that they're cutting it. And by cutting it, I mean, like, cutting the funding going towards mental health and such. But, like you said, it's still so new. Yeah. Nobody really knows. Like, with bipolar disorder, people are like, oh, we think it's... With bipolar disorder, people go, oh, we think it's because of chemicals in the brain, or it could be heredity.
Yeah.
If your parents have got it, you probably got it. Or people go, maybe it's situational. They don't even know how you get it.
Yeah, I do think, though, that your bipolar is family-orientated, because we have a cousin, and we've had a lot of mental health issues, His family seems to be cursed with mental health issues, I'm afraid. Right. Not that we're crazy.
But we're doing a podcast, and there's only two of us in the room, so... It's the way we both did the head shake. Like, la, 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 la. We're not crazy. La, 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 la.
No. Okay. So, but... Yeah.
But also with mental health, I think we're all a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
In the sense of, if you're alone, you talk to yourself.
Of course you do.
And I think everyone does that.
Yeah.
And of course, that's signs of schizophrenia or multiple personality disorders and the like. So I just think we're all a little bit crazy, but some people are just more crazy in some aspects than the other. But when I say crazy, I don't mean it in a bad way or anything. I just mean it in a sense of, to me, crazy is something that's not average.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean...
So I don't mean it in like an offensive way, like, who's a fucking nutjob? Crazy, crazy, crazy man. But just in a way of like, oh, he's not like the average human being. In the sense of, oh, he's talking to himself and he's in the middle of a park. But then in his mind, he might be going like, I'm walking my dog, I'm talking to my dog. And that's completely normal to him.
Yes, I totally agree.
Because I know sometimes I talk to the dogs and I'm not hearing voices, I'm not like hearing them reply back, but this is something you do. But yeah, that would be a sign of schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder or any other disorders like that. Goose, I kept cutting you off then, I'm so sorry. I was just trying to get my point across.
Well, thanks to you, I've totally lost the thread of my thoughts.
Yeah, true. But like, technically it's OCD for you to turn up to work on time.
Yeah.
Because in your mind you're going, right, I've got to be there at 9, so I've got to leave at 8. That's how a person with OCD would think. So in a way, we're all technically OCD-ish. Or autistic.
We all have the same
my head is
loop in our brains. And
yes.
Obviously we all have, like you say, people alone. Again, going back to how does everyone know how to fry an egg? We all talk to ourselves. And anyone who says they don't is a liar. Whether you're talking to yourself when you're thinking out loud about the shopping list in front of you, or what do you need to get for tea, or anything else. So I totally agree. But there are some people that those boundaries of their madness go further. Like people with bipolar, like people with schizophrenia. Their boundaries are pushed further and further than most people's. Most people, yeah, they do talk to themselves. And they do talk to their animals. And some people talk to plants. And some people do silly things like they have a ritual. Everyone has a ritual when they go to bed at night.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's we still do it. And some people will get into routines and do things like make sure all the windows are locked and all the doors are locked. And
everything's turned off.
Yeah.
But the fridge, because you can never turn off the fridge.
No. So at the end of the day, we all have our insignificant, our little quirks. And I think that
yeah, but you know that's the thing. There's like the quirks which are acceptable, and then there's the quirks of where we have to look at them and go, okay, that's not your average amount of quirkiness
right.
you're allowed.
That's right.
Like, yeah, talk to yourself, some people even talk to their appliances.
Yeah.
Like their microwave's cooking, and then they're going, oh, you better cook that quicker.
And I know a lot of people that name their cars.
Yeah.
And talk to their cars.
Yeah. But
oh,
then
Sylvia.
there just seems to be this weird step where you go, that's unacceptable.
I know, because I think all of us are a little bit crazy. And I think that's how far the human race
Well, I
has
think
come
to
now.
live in this world, you've got to be a bit crazy, really.
I think
if
so
we're talking
too.
crazy as in not average. Like like I mentioned before about how I call people or say like something a situation's crazy to me if it's not your average situation. And I'm not just talking like going, oh, you usually catch this bus, but you got caught this bus today. You're so crazy. But just like, oh my god, like that was a crazy event. Like 9/11 was a crazy event. Like that wouldn't have happened in a normal average day.
Well, no, 9/11 wasn't crazy. It was life changing. It was the way we viewed things changed. I mean, nobody in the wildest dreams would have thought that anyone would attack America.
Apart from The Simpsons.
Apart from The Simpsons, yeah.
To go back to, I think it was in the previous episode we talked about how I thought that the Simpson creator was a fucking time traveller.
So, as we were saying, it's these things happen. Yeah.
So anything that's not average, because you can't say normal, but average, and by average I mean average.
The thing is that everyone's life can change in the smallest ways. 9/11 was mammoth.
I know that was an extreme choice of meaning, but I was trying to get that across of like, I don't just go like I said, oh, you usually catch the 42 bus, but today you caught the 68. You're so crazy. Like, I don't class that as crazy.
No, I don't.
I class that as convenient if like the 64 came before the 42, or whatever bus number I said. But like extreme cases, and I will class that as crazy. So I never mean like crazy in a diminutive way.
No. Good job, because you're crazy.
I know I am. I know I am. So I feel like I've got the right to say about me. Like, I'm a fucking nutjob. But to everyone else, yeah, I know all the snowflakes out there. That's what I'm basically covering myself on. I'm basically just trying to cover this video, like going, yeah, we're fucking nutters, so I think we can say this, but just in case.
Yes.
But no, I think extreme differences from the average demands like a crazy.
Yeah.
Like if we all woke up tomorrow and we looked at the sun and instead of being orange, it was fucking bright pink, we'll go, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But like I said, we need those normal people.
There's average.
Normal.
What's normal? Average is normal, but average.
We need the bulk of the society to not be as crazy as us, to help us.
But unfortunately, they're just too far behind. Not too far behind. I just think they're taking baby steps towards mental health at the moment. Whereas with the general practitioner, they took giant leaps.
Yeah.
Like, believe it or not, there was a time where fucking doctors were going to one patient with a scalpel and cutting them open and pulling out a piece and then replacing the piece and then going to another patient and with the same scalpel cutting them open. And then one woman said, maybe we should wash that, and suddenly a disease was wiped out. Wasn't that the whole general story of Florence Nightingale?
Yeah, but
she started saying perhaps we should wash our hands.
In a
like
nutshell.
Nobody else thought of that idea.
No, they didn't like to.
And then another woman had to just say, the doctor. There was a time where doctors would tell the nurses vocally, this patient needs this patient's on that, this patient, this patient, this patient, this patient. And the nurses would just go, yep. And then one nurse just went, perhaps we should start writing this down. And suddenly now, all doctors and nurses have to write everything down. Like, nobody else thought of the idea of fucking perhaps we should write this down, guys. This is too much information. It sounds simple, but it took, ironically, 2 women, it took somebody to say, we shouldn't do this. But like I said, that was more leaps and bounds. People come in with broken arms and they're like going, we know how to fix that. You go in and you're like, my brain doesn't work properly. I think I'm seeing knives on the walls. And they're like, I don't know, have some of this. We don't know what we're doing.
The thing is, with our bodies, they can. Your body, my arm inside looks just like your arm. My chest inside looks like your chest. But our brains are totally different.
Mm.
And that's
of course, yeah.
And that's why medical science came on leaps and bounds. Because they were dealing with solid matter. Our brains are flights of fancies at best. Everyone's brain works differently.
Yeah, I know that. Of course I know that.
And that's why...
Everyone's got the same human skeleton inside them.
That's
whether
why...
you're rich, poor, black, white, whatever.
That's why I think even in 300-400 years, they still won't have gotten to the bottom of mental health.
Yes, I would say that they have made changes from the way they used to treat mental health.
Yeah, but they won't get it right for another 300 to 400 years.
Probably not. But they've changed a lot
from
what they used to do.
They have.
I mean, back in, I'm going to say Victorian times, but it could even be Shakespeare time. The rich people would pay to visit a mental health, or an asylum as they were called back then. The most famous one obviously be called Bedlam. And the people were just chained to the walls, chained to the floor, and the rich could just walk around and view them for entertainment reasons, because back then you didn't have TV or any of that shit. And there's that famous painting of the Bedlam Hospital.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that there's been no changes, but it just seems like more baby steps. But like the Goose says, everyone's mind's different, and everyone's going to react differently to different treatments.
I think they're trying to understand, like I said about my dyslexia, and I think they are trying to understand. But you're right, they are taking baby steps. They have changed the way they treat people with mental health, or they've got 40 to 50% better at treating mental health people. They haven't totally got it right yet. And they also haven't worked on how to communicate with mental health people. Some people, they think that sitting down and talking is the answer. It's not. And there are some people you can't communicate with because they're so far into themselves with their mental state. But there has to be a way of reaching them. We just haven't figured it out yet.
Plus, it doesn't help that what is classed as a mental disorder keeps changing. Because like 70 years ago, homosexuality was classed as a mental disorder.
Absolutely.
Currently now, people who are trans or gender confused are classed as gender disorientated, which is a mental disorder. As of 2018, it's still classed as a mental disorder.
I know, babe. I know.
So it doesn't help that there's no goal. I'm going to say goalposts. I don't mean goalposts, but there's no boundary lines of what is and what isn't a mental disorder. Whereas if, like we said before, and I know we've gone over it, but just to clarify, if you went in with a broken arm's a broken arm. There's no getting over what a broken arm looks like. You can't say I've got a broken arm, and then it turns out the split is in your femur. I think the femur's in the leg, right?
Yeah.
But with mental health, the goalposts out or the borders just keep changing. Out what is and what isn't. Because it almost seems like the homosexual thing was a mental disorder about 70 years ago, 80 years ago, and now it's not. So it almost seems like some mental disorders can change into what's acceptable, what's not acceptable.
Yeah,
because way before it got changed 70, 80 years ago, homosexuality was thought of as a mental disorder for many, many years, and then homosexuals got their rights, and not everyone just, because I know there's still people that don't like homosexuals, but society or culturally, we seem to go, oh, okay, they seem to be alright. So that's not a mental disorder now, and suddenly that's changed the goalpost again. In a good way.
Yeah.
But of course, also it could go in a bad way, where 40 years ago, if you were a child with dyslexia, you were classed as a fucking idiot.
That's right, that's what I said. So at the end of the
day... So the goalposts, unfortunately, keep changing for mental health.
They will keep changing.
Because, unfortunately, mental health is a constant change. It's like what are those instruments? What you got like
Concertina,
that?
I think.
Concertina. It's like a concertina of ideas, mental health. You never know what's in, what's not in, what's not in. But you know what I mean. Like, before, if you had Asperger's, you just had Asperger's. But now there's a whole spectrum.
Because every time they learn more and more.
Every year and every new discovery or new study into it, it completely changes the ball game. But unfortunately, because that's the human mind, nobody really knows what the human mind is. Nobody even knows what dreaming is, and we've been dreaming since we've ever started.
Yes,
as
do.
Humans. Nobody knows what a dream is.
They've come up with theories.
Yeah, but nobody can pinpoint this is what a dream is.
No,
people think it's your mind coming up with creative ideas. Some people believe it's your mind deleting unnecessary stuff that you need, like a computer. It goes, oh, you don't need to know all this stuff, so it'll just delete it. And then as it's deleting it, it comes out in your dreams. That's why. But then also people interpretate dreams. Like, I know I used to dream a lot about my teeth breaking or falling out. And then I looked up online what that meant, and a lot of the websites I went on said, if you dream about your teeth breaking or falling out or anything to do with the teeth, that means your appearance, and you're unhappy with your appearance if they're breaking or falling out. And then ever since learning that, I mean, my appearance hasn't changed, but I've just stopped dreaming about it.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah, so that's
self-help.
Yeah, self-help. You learn, you see it, and then you just go on with it.
Good stuff. Well, I think we should call that an end now, my lovely.
Yes. I feel like we probably rambled on a bit too much at the end, didn't we?
I think we did.
Kept going around in circles. But, you know, on the mental health scale, we're all up for, and obviously we're all up for the, I want to say learned, but it's not learned. The learnings and understandings of mental health, whatever they may be. In 200 years' time, mental health will probably be in a different ballpark to what we're talking about now.
I'm hoping so. Anyway, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from her. So we can't steal that. Jesus Christ. How do we ever end these? Do you know what? We've done...
Just say fuck off and go to bed.
Yeah, fuck off, you fucking fuck off. Fuck off. There. Bye. Subscribe. Love you.
Love you.
Love all the people. Bye.